Come March 2021 is when I made my first TikTok, and it just went viral. Like, wasn't even 45 seconds, and 75,000 people overnight had viewed it.
Was that so surreal?
Oh, I just couldn't believe it.
Did you wake up and see it?
Yeah, wake up, and I was like, what
like
the
the
hell?
Maddie
Yeah.
from HYDE Sticks.
That's me.
Welcome to Local Roots.
Thanks for having me.
No worries. I'm so excited to have you on the pod.
Really?
Yes.
I'm pretty boring.
No
pretty
way.
basic.
Are you kidding me? How old are you first off?
24, 25 in 2 days.
Yes. And you have a very successful business.
Thank you.
HYDE Sticks. Also a very large TikTok following.
Did you have a look?
I just know.
Cringe.
I mean, I love TikTok. I was actually, my last podcast I had was with Trav Parry.
Oh,
You
yeah.
followed Trav?
Yeah.
And he's got like a few hundred. I think you
And
have
he just
the
vlogs
same.
his days. And I'm like,
Right?
how?
But that's kind of like what you do.
Yeah.
You just like share a little bit of like the inside of running a business. And I think that is so important to be transparent like that.
And I can't believe people like to watch it. It's crazy to
Isn't
me.
it? It feels like
So
that.
crazy.
Hey, when you get a lot of likes on something, you think,
Yeah.
but that's just what I do in my like everyday
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So today I want to talk about you personally. I want to hear your story, like from when you first started, like the seed of thinking of doing a business, and to like now and where you're at, and like just to like help other people understand if they want to go into this kind of business or how it looks. And I love how transparent you are.
Yeah.
So I think that that's a real benefit, especially to the younger generation.
That's so crazy. People want to know my story though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
You were recommended a lot.
really?
Yeah. For real. And I was like, I can understand why.
Oh, that's so cool though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
So where did it start?
Okay,
Tell me
so
about it.
taking it back to was around January 2021. I had lost my job a couple of months prior to COVID. Actually, I was working in a gym as a receptionist.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was really cool. I actually did that for 2 years and I liked it. And I've always just loved people.
Yeah,
like
you
working
can
with
tell.
people. Like, I don't know, I thrive off that. So yeah, when I'd lost my job, I was like, there's just no way that I can survive like with no income. So the thought of starting a business was kind of like always in the back of my mind. We were actually in the creek swimming and I was like, how cool would it be to have a trucker cap with like cowhide print underneath? And that was the start of it. And I always knew the name would be HYDE Sticks, and I
it's a
changed the
great
I to Y to be different, and then Sticks is my upbringing. But yeah, it always just kind of stuck, and my family didn't even think twice about it. And yeah, come March 2021 is when I made my first TikTok, and it just went viral. Like, wasn't even 45 seconds, and 75,000 people overnight had viewed it.
Was that so surreal?
Oh, I just couldn't believe it.
Did you wake up and see
Yeah,
it?
wake up, and I was like, what
It's like
the
the dream.
hell? I didn't even have a website. I was doing direct messaging, and we'd just had our like little Cole signature tea.
I love
People
that.
were just going crazy over it.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, that's kind of like where it all kicked off. And then I did, the trucker caps, but they take a while for production. So it was first the tea, then the truckers, and then hoodies, I think, and then fishing jerseys.
Yeah, that's cool.
And yeah, now I'm in my own little shop, and I'm like, this is just crazy.
Yeah. So were your parents entrepreneurs or anything like that kind of sparked it in you, or was it just like a new kind of vision?
I feel like they do, definitely, because they do have their own earth moving company.
Okay, that makes
Kelkor.
sense. Yeah.
And being little and just like being raised around that, I guess you kind of just like absorb like a little sponge as to how they direct people and how they communicate. And I feel like that obviously has been essential in running my own business.
Yeah.
And their support, they've just always like, whatever you want to do, we'll support you. And they always just kind of knew that I was going to do something like big, I guess you could say, because whenever I put my mind to something, until I do it, I just won't let it go. Like
that's that's a good trait, but like also we have a lot of it the same. Like whereas Yana and I fixating on that, but then pulling yourself back and being like, hang on, we have to think about the process to get to this, and not just like jump in and like, which we've done so many times.
Same. And I just look back and I'm like, you really should have thought about that. But
that's cool. So you learned a lot from your parents.
100%.
And then like, what was the was it the TikTok that was like, I could actually make a business out of this?
Yeah. Well, like I said before, like whenever I put my heart towards something or my mind, it's like I've got to do it full out. Like I've got to give it my all, so I don't look back and be like, well, you half-assed it.
That's
kind of
so
thing.
true.
So, yeah, the TikTok just concreted it in that people actually liked the vision that I was bringing to life. And I was just so passionate about it, and I still am.
Yeah.
Like, just love making people happy. And, like, even the dash, like, when I see on someone's dash, the
Yes.
trucker cap, when I drive past, I'm like, oh, this is just all
I
worth
see your
it.
hats everywhere, actually.
It's so cool. I'm like, I can't believe people like my stuff.
I feel like I know a celebrity when I see the hats, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I know who designed that.
It's just so crazy.
With the process of making them and stuff like that,
Yeah.
did you go through quite a process of sourcing the right provider
100%.
and stuff like that?
It took me like 3 months to find, and in saying that, I also did want to use like small businesses within our
that's
community
cool.
too. So like, who does our heat pressing? She's from Marion.
Oh,
Marion.
really?
Yeah. So
That's so
she's like
cool.
supporting small
Yeah.
within our community, which is what I love.
Yeah.
Like, we wouldn't be where we are without our community.
That's
so.
100% right.
Yeah.
I love that. That's
Yeah.
such a beautiful mindset to have, because
Yeah, you got to.
yeah, if we can
Otherwise-
stay as local as possible,
Yeah.
the locals are going to thrive.
Yeah.
So I stand by that 110%.
Yeah, as you do. Like,
Yeah,
all around.
yeah, that's true. There's like, obviously there's a few things you can't really do that on.
No.
But if you try your absolute hardest to stick with what our
Yeah.
community has to offer,
Yeah.
they'll back you.
Yeah.
Like-
And I feel that every single day. Like
Yeah.
every single day someone's walked into our doors.
Yeah.
Which is just like so wholesome and so crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So even the lady in Marion, was it?
Yeah.
She probably spreads the word of mouth in her community too. And you
Yeah.
probably have quite a big following in that
Yeah,
small town.
she's so amazing.
Yeah.
Seriously.
So it's just simple things like that. Hey,
Yeah.
like and I do believe that's why we are so popular, is because we support the locals and the
Yeah.
locals share that.
and
it's like
yous
the little,
are amazing.
Thank
like,
you. That's actually why I brought her on here.
Yeah, seriously, so many people come like after it's a Saturday, and
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, have you just come from Roots? And they're like, yeah, it was so
Oh,
good. And I'm
really?
like, I'm so glad. I'll send people down here if they haven't had their
That's
coffee
so
yet.
beautiful.
But seriously, so
Thank you.
good.
And props to you too.
I mean, big head.
So where did the business start?
Was
Was it humble beginnings was it your garage?
yeah.
Talk us through that process of going from a garage to
It's just
a
like
shop.
also kind of like jumbled because it just happened so quickly,
Yeah.
and I had to adjust just so quickly
Yes.
as well. So my timelines are like pretty off. So yeah, March I started. It was April I finally figured out how to like do a website. So April was the website launch.
Which was all the online ordering.
Yeah,
hey?
online. Otherwise, it was just like a direct message situation, and I would like write their order down in like a little order book, and that was their receipt.
It gets tough, hey, doing it that way, especially if you're getting so many orders.
I did 150 orders like that, and it was like to the time I was like, I got to do something.
Yeah.
now. I've got to figure
Yeah,
it
that's
out.
good. Systemize it so that it's
yeah.
actually going to work in the
Yeah.
future.
Because I was like, how am I going to go about it if people want to order from Western
Yes.
Australia? You know, like
That's so
direct
true.
messaging.
Yeah.
It's a bit
That's
gammon.
good.
So yeah, website in April, and May then we had our first pop-up shop at Nebo Street Party, which was just like an
Crazy.
eye-opener because everyone's like, you're the girl from TikTok, and I'm like, this is my life right now.
I am. Do you want an autograph? I
Yeah,
can do that.
That's what it was like, and like little girls getting pictures with me, and I was like, this is
that's
crazy.
beautiful.
Yeah, like crazy.
Was this COVID time as well, or just out of COVID?
just out of it. Like when things were starting to come back to life, I guess.
Yes,
And I think that's why we had done so well. I just kind of like asked it again, like with the timing of everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, so where was I?
So
Pop-up shop.
Pop-up shop, yeah.
And then, yeah, just from there, it just took off. Like, I mean, it was already taking off.
Yeah.
And then I decided 2 weeks into having hide and sticks to quit my full-time job at the gym.
Wow.
And, yeah.
Was it providing enough money for you to
Yeah.
quit? That's
Yeah,
incredible.
it was insane.
That's
Like,
great.
insane. Our biggest launch that we've ever done was our Down Yonder footy shorts.
Yes, yeah. They're so popular.
So popular. in 5 minutes we'd sold out and we'd done like 400 online orders, and I was just like, this is insane.
Do you pack them all by yourself?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's a lot.
It took me 4 days because when I pack, everyone gets a thank you card.
Yeah.
And it gets wrapped in like craft brown paper with like twine. So it's like a present.
Felt like a good idea at the time. So you do 400.
I'm so quick at tying bows. And when I go live on TikTok packing orders, they're like, man, Christmas time must be a breeze. And I say, yeah, Christmas time, everyone gets craft paper and twine.
Yeah. And do you have employees? I know you
have 2 juniors.
2 juniors, that's it, yeah.
They help out after school and like every second or so Saturday.
Yeah.
Which is
they help you
good.
pack?
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. They're like my little restockers
Yeah.
and TikTokers. Like whenever I don't want to make a TikTok, I'm like, go make a TikTok.
That's good.
You know,
And that younger youth really capitalizes on TikTok.
They get shamed though. They're like, and I'm like, you just got to do it.
Yeah, that's so true.
And they love them. Like our audience loves their faces and stuff. So.
And I think seeing their leader, you, like giving it a
so
crack.
Weird.
It's true though.
So
like
strange.
You are definitely the example of who they could be. Like, and whether you want to be or not, like, it just happens when you have someone older than you. Like, you look up to them.
And I see myself at their age, and then when they say terms like, I don't even know what the
latest trending.
Yeah. And I'm like, what? Like, then I feel old.
Yeah, I have that here too as well.
Yeah, you would.
But yeah, so much. We have so many young girls. But yeah, like with that aspect of them being younger, they're like, oh, well, Maddie does it. Like in the back of their head, I reckon that would be like the thing. I surely can give it a go, even if they are shame and stuff like that. Lead by example.
That's why I just get in front of a camera when I don't want to. And just once I post, I just don't look back.
Yeah, that's so true. Hey, post it, let it go.
Let it go.
Just like
don't
however
even think
it goes,
about
it goes.
Yeah.
So after that season of TikTok, and it really booming because TikTok was crazy, did you find that it dropped off a little bit? Or
only as of late, to be completely transparent.
Algorithm.
Yeah, like I don't understand it. Like it's coming back. Probably a month ago, I was barely getting 1,000 views. Like as pity as that sounds, but like when your life depends
it's like
on it.
Like 100K to like 1,000.
Literally,
yeah,
I was like, what is going on? And then I just like started going back to my roots of like, plug there. That's when it all like the views started to come back.
Yeah.
And all of that. So
I think that's it. Like I've found many times because I run our socials here.
Yeah.
You can get so focused with running the business that you forget about why you're doing it.
Yeah, I feel like I struggle with that a lot lately.
Well, especially if it's just like mainly you and you've got your 2 juniors, you still have to motivate yourself. Like I'm so grateful I have 2 siblings that are like, come on. But like, let's go.
Yeah.
But like, it would be really tough. Like so my partner owns a barbershop by himself.
I actually didn't come across that. That's
you did?
Super cool.
Yeah. He's
so
very good at what he does. I see it a lot, like he's a very strong business leader. Yeah. But he struggles a lot because it's just him, like with motivation and stuff like that. It's like,
you got to keep you accountable.
Yes, 100% and plan and like set goals. But yeah, when I post something, you really just have to like plan it out and like really think about, okay, how am I representing what we stand for? Yeah. Because if you don't like support that, people are like, oh, well, what am I really like? Yeah. Backing here. I think that's like the most important thing.
So important. And that's what I feel like I lacked there for a couple months. I'm like, all right, it shows that you've kind of like lost your sense of direction. Yeah. Like get back to your roots and like give it another go. Yeah. But
and I think it's important to be transparent about that.
100%.
We've hit that many times, that feeling. Like it's like a bit of a, okay, this is tough. This is like, and running a business is so tough. So tough.
Like, no, why does no one talk about it really?
No, I think there's a lot of pride and ego behind it.
Yeah, like a bad day.
Yeah.
Like, why does no one talk about that?
So real. Yeah. And like I can only share from the perspective of hospitality, obviously, but I do feel like a lot of businesses have a lot of common threads. Yeah. But like you just have to stay consistent. Yeah. Otherwise, and being consistent when you
and true to yourself too. I feel.
Yes.
Like 100%.
And when you have stuff going on in your life, because life isn't perfect, you still have to have that front and step forward and be like, all right, I need to be the joy. I need to be the stability. I need to be the. Yeah. I think that is very underrated, and people don't understand that that's actually what it takes to run a successful business. even if you are like mainly on your own, you have to be that for yourself.
Yeah, which is the hardest bit, I reckon.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Being there, I think, for yourself is a lot harder than being there for other people.
Yeah, because it's easier when it's someone else because your feelings aren't as like intertwined in it all.
Yeah.
So.
And I think I find like when you're there more for yourself, or you like self-love, I suppose you'd call it. Just like the self-love.
Yeah.
When you love yourself, it's really easy to love other people. Whereas if you're not loving yourself and then you're trying to give all this love that you don't really have. It's tough.
It's really kind of like that fill your own glass up.
Yes.
Sitch,
that's my dad saying. He says, fill your glass so that you know how that saying's normally like fill your glass and then fill other people's.
Yeah.
He goes, fill your glass so full that you overflow to others. And I was like, I love that.
Yeah.
So much more beneficial.
So good. Yeah. And it like you can actually understand it more because it's overflowing into other people's cups.
Exactly. Yeah. So with business, balancing business and personal life, I think I haven't actually spoken about this on the podcast yet. Yeah. Which I think it's really important. Yeah. You're married. Yeah. Recent, hey?
Very recent. Yeah.
What's it been, like a few months?
Yeah. It feels like ages ago. Like we've been together for so long. Yeah. So it's just like, it doesn't really change too much. It's just more like the husband and wife and that's like nice. Label. It's weird still hearing it. Hey, my wife. I'm like, weird.
Wifey?
Yeah.
So having that aspect and like even like you said, you've been together for ages. So similar kind of thing. What's it like balancing work and life? Because I know personally, especially because my partner has a business as well. Like, it's hard. So
it would be so hard.
Share your perspective and knowledge and wisdom.
Honestly, still haven't really figured it out. And as time goes on, I just don't ever think I will. So balancing it is just like what it comes down to, I guess. Is just like figuring out when to stop work and when to like dive into your personal life. Yeah. And I feel like over the last 6 months, I've had to put my personal life first for a bit, just with the wedding and just life in general. I just felt like I'd lost myself for so long. And
so young still.
Yeah, like
finding your identity still.
I still, when people are like, oh, like, who are you? And I'm like, I really don't know.
A business owner.
Yeah.
Actually, I had this.
Sticks
question. I had this conversation with my partner the other day. We were talking about how we need to be more than just our business. Yes. Like when people are like, what do you do? And you're like, I run a business. Yeah. What do you do in your spare time? My business. Yeah. And it's like, no, I need to be so much more than that. Because like business, like they're so fluent. They're like up, down. We were just talking about that. So if it doesn't work eventually, I still need to have my personal life. Not that it won't. Like, look at us. We'll be fine. So fine.
I hope you're right.
No, we will be. It's words have power. So that's why I'm like,
manifesting
into the, so like having that, like harmony, I suppose. I think that what I found is balance is a bad word.
It is because it's like you're never really balancing. It's always like you're in one, like, I don't know.
You can't. Yeah. Well, I think we're a part of this group called Foodie Coaches and they coach us through everything. This is what I learned. Balance is, if you're balancing on a beam and you remove one thing from the other side, the whole balance is thrown off. Yeah. So you're thrown back into work or you're thrown into your personal life. This is, it was so educational for me. Harmony is like an orchestra. Like fluent and like flowy and like you find the harmony between work and life and work and home, and it makes more sense.
Yeah, it does make more sense.
Because sometimes
and it sounds better.
It does, yeah. Your business is going to need more of you than your personal life, and other times your personal life is going to need more. So I think it's like, it's never one or the other. Hey, you can't. You just can't when you're a business owner. I think one day when we're making the big dolls and we can step out, that's the goal, and like have it set up for our family. Yeah. I think then like you could just focus more on personal life, but business is hard work.
It's so hard, and
you have to really hustle to make it work.
And you got to like adapt. I feel like as of late, I've just been trying to try anything to adapt to the trends or just like expand and just like dipping your toes in to see what works and then go from there.
Yeah, I think the like with business, the most beneficial thing is being adaptive. Yeah, because 100%. Like, especially if you're social media based. Yeah. For an example, like
you got to learn all these new trends and then see what's working, the algorithms, and you're like,
is your clientele mainly online?
Yeah.
So your whole business is pretty much online, which means your job is practically marketing.
Yeah.
Like yes, you run a business. You're the business owner as well as the marketer.
Yeah.
Like you have to make things popular.
Yeah.
And in order to do that, you have to study the algorithm and you have to, I'm the same, like it's insane. And it's
so insane.
Changing. The second someone releases a video saying, this is the new algorithm, it's already changed.
Yeah.
And it's like, I can't trust that.
No. And then I feel like the time that you jump on that algorithm, it's like overpopulated anyways.
Yeah.
And then your video gets lost and you're like, well.
And then you feel like you're putting forward something that's not exactly who you are.
And you kind of like feel very defeated. Like you've put so much time and effort into that one video.
Yeah.
For it to like get 100 views
Flop.
and you're like.
Yeah. Yeah, I completely relate to that.
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully we can understand the algorithm, or maybe they'll head towards like community support. Like the rest of the world is really thriving at the moment. Like it would be really good if our social medias could target the people directly in our region.
I know. I've even tried like, your sponsored posts and like how you target it.
Yes.
And it's still nothing.
Yeah. Well, I was speaking to someone the other day and they said that Facebook works monetizing now these days.
Right.
So TikTok's probably the same, especially in America.
Yeah.
You have to pay for it to get out there. That's the way it's moving.
It's so sad, hey?
Yeah.
And people put money into it and then that's why like businesses like us just like again fall into.
Yeah, exactly. Because bigger businesses can put their stuff out there with.
And they have so much money for budgeting.
Yes, but we got money
Marketing.
to pay bills. But yeah, there'll be a light at the end of the tunnel.
100%. You just got to keep sticking in there and staying true to yourself.
Yes, definitely. That's a big one. Stay true to yourself.
Be passionate about what you're doing too, I feel.
Yes, that's a big one. I think that comes with the understanding who you are inside your business. Is if you lose the passion, your business kind of loses its heartbeat.
And I like that.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's like the passion is the heartbeat.
Yeah.
And you can't learn passion.
No.
You have to just have it.
Have it in you. Yeah.
When we first started our leaders out at our old business, we really tried to implement the passion into them, but it's not something you can teach. So we realized time and time again, trying to make them understand this passion that we got, they were like, well, I'm just getting paid to do what I do. Fair enough. Yeah. Like they're there to get paid. Yeah. Instead, once we joined this coaching group, they directed us in putting the people into the areas that they're passionate about. So like if I have someone who loves social media, get them to help me. Yeah. If I have someone who loves cooking, they go in the kitchen. Yeah. Like instead of just expecting
forcing them to do something.
To be passionate about something they're not passionate about. Yeah. And the hiring process has changed a lot through that process. Yeah. But yeah, it's been quite a journey.
That's really cool though.
Yeah. Thank you.
I like that. Yeah.
Got lots of intel if you need more about big teams.
I feel like I need to like go to this coaching course.
You should. Actually, I say to people, even though it's foodie coaches and like hospitality,
but still like
it's like good for everyone. Yeah. Like it's good general business knowledge. Yeah. Incredible place.
Yeah, I love that.
So, business. Mm-hmm. What has been the biggest challenge you have faced in the growth of your business?
I mean, like business again have so many ups and downs. There's just so many.
Everything's a challenge.
I don't really know the one thing that comes to my head. Like, I mean, I don't really. Honestly, I can't think of balance. Yeah. Like I've struggled so hard. Like when I'd first started the business, I definitely had lost myself because I put all of my energy into the business and starting it out and giving it my all. Yeah. So my mental health definitely did take a decline because I was like just live, breathe, eat, hide and sticks. Yeah. So when I moved it out of my house into the shop, that's when I could separate it. That's good. And then that's when I'd found like a bit more of the harmony, I guess you could say. Yeah. So yeah, definitely balancing everything is my biggest struggle. Like
splitting the spaces is a big one. We lived upstairs in our old cafe that we had. Oh yeah. It was
up there.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So we lived upstairs. Oh, it wasn't for long.
Yeah, I
There's
didn't
a reason for that. Also, even living with my siblings was tough.
It would be.
So, I mean, siblings to begin with, but business partners as well. Yeah. Just not meant to live together. No. Like, you bring home work. You talk about work.
That would be so hard, hey?
It is. Like, we've actively had to invest in a relationship outside of work because you're not really meant to see your siblings as much as we see our siblings.
Yeah.
Like,
and I could never imagine like working like you
oh, it was
do.
so tough. So tough. There was definitely holes in the walls. A lot of screaming, a lot of quitting, or you're fired. Or it was like, it's what you'd expect. Working with siblings is.
Yeah.
And then once you, by the grace of God, overcome that, and I think not a lot of people can, and that's understandable. Yeah. But we were raised with such incredible parents that always sought us to get along. Yeah. And would sit down with us and like talk it out. And and we eventually worked it out, and it did work. Like, and like, there's so many things we can do together now, like, and it's easy, like, but it wasn't easy. Like, it's definitely, I do not want to get people like that illusion that it's easy working with your siblings. And we still have arguments, like they're little now because we respect each other a lot. But like, you just have to like keep on the grind and just like,
and separate the two from work to personal.
Exactly. And we all live in separate places now, so it's a lot
not
easier.
so much like in your face.
No, definitely not. Yeah,
that would be a struggle.
Such a struggle. Okay, I've got some questions here.
Yeah, go for it.
These are questions that our social media peoples actually put forward to ask you.
Interesting.
So I think they're like, a few of them are community based, which I absolutely love. So the first one is, what does running your business mean to you personally, and how has it shaped you into who you are today? It's a good question.
That is a really good question. I feel as though, so hard to answer though. Definitely for myself, it's made me more confident. I never used to be up like this. Right now, I would never have been able to do this.
I'm so glad you're here.
Like, I was so nervous.
Yeah.
And what was the first half of the
what
question?
What does running a business mean to you personally?
Just giving back to the community and like seeing how happy and like making people feel good while doing the things they love. Like, there's nothing better than seeing that.
Yeah, that's nice.
And just proudly wearing the brand too, like walking down the street, and like it's created such a community too. Like, people have met through the brand. Yeah. And the amount of friendships that I've made that I just never
wouldn't
thought
have
were
made.
possible. No.
Yeah.
Like, people down in New South Wales that I talk to that are like my sisters, and I'm like, I've never met them.
That's incredible. People in
so
New South Wales wearing your merch?
Yeah.
That is
New
so
South Wales
cool.
and Tasmania are our biggest.
Really?
Yeah, that's where we purely
Have you ever just wanted to road trip there just so you can like see who's wearing your stuff? Yeah. That is so cool.
So cool. I did go to Zach Bryan in December, which was Melbourne. And like, when we went to the concert, there was so much hide and sticks. And I was just like, it's made it all the way down here.
That's so cool.
So cool.
Have you seen those videos of like the merch creators or stuff like tapping people on the shoulder and being like, you're wearing my merch? You should definitely do a video like that.
I should. I usually like went like Serena's show. I know it's still Serena. But we did like, whoever we seen in hide and sticks gets a free gift.
I should have worn a hat.
And so many people wore it. Yeah. Like, I don't know.
That's a good idea. Yeah, giving back to the people that support you.
Support me. Yeah. Like, without them, I'd be nothing. Like,
your stall looked incredible, by the way. Very, very nice.
It takes days and days to like get that huge set up. Yeah.
It was like, I don't know, meters, but I think did he help?
Yeah, it was just me and him.
That's nice. So he's like your offside business help.
Free for free.
Free labor. Because loves, like pay in love. Yeah. Okay, next question. Can you recall a moment where you realized the true impact your business had on the lives of your customers or the community?
That's also a really good question. Holy. They're just so like full. Like, it takes a lot for my little peanut brain to be like, huh?
Okay, let me simplify. True impact on the community.
So like my first kind of like pinch me moment.
Yes. Yeah.
Definitely opening the store and the amount of support that we had on that day, like lines of people inside, like that little shop.
That's
just
amazing.
So amazing.
Oh, we've kind of already covered this, but this would be good to just simplify down.
Yeah.
How do you stay motivated during challenging times?
Again, just getting back to my roots, focusing on what I started it for and why I started it.
Yeah.
And yeah, just diving into that, I guess.
Yeah,
like,
that's good.
And just always making sure my cup is full. Like,
Yeah.
I think that's so important because,
Who would you say your biggest support is?
Definitely my family.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah, no matter what.
Every business owner I've ever asked who their biggest support is, like
Yeah.
successful business owner, it's always been their family.
Yeah, well, I feel like you're nothing without a support system.
Yeah.
And like, even if I'm like having a bad day and I'm like, oh, blah, 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 blah,
Yeah.
and they're like, oh, it's fine. Like,
Yeah.
it's whatever.
Definitely. And
Yeah.
I think family can be friends as well.
Oh, yeah.
Like us, a really tight-knit community of friends that supports you.
Yeah, they're my best friends.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't be
Yeah.
anywhere without them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like that with my siblings too. Like,
Well, you can
like,
tell, like.
yeah, like after everything we've been through, like they are my best friends.
Best friends,
like,
yeah.
And we can talk about things that only we understand.
Yeah,
and
you have your own like kind of language.
that's
in
so
a way.
true.
Yeah.
That's so true. Yeah. It's
If
like,
anyone else was to hear it, they'd be like a bit worried.
what are they talking about? Yeah. Cool. Who was your biggest source of inspiration throughout your journey?
Definitely my family. Like,
Oh, that's
I feel
beautiful.
like it's just my passion for all things country, which is my family's property.
Yeah.
Was like even t-shirts.
Yeah.
As an example, they're all creeks that we've swim in or
Oh,
like
that's
paddocks or
cool.
something related
Yeah.
back to the family farm.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Is that the ones with the prints on them? Like
Yeah.
the fishing looking ones? Is that what they are? Or-
The fishing
Sorry?
jerseys. No, you're so fun. Fishing jerseys, they're kind of like more groovy names. It's more the t-shirts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That
Yeah,
are like
and they've got the
named.
designs on them and stuff.
Yeah, like your heat press.
Yeah, I love the
Yeah.
heat press, the bubble
Yeah,
on it.
so cute.
So
I love
cute.
this one. It's so comfy.
I've seen a lot of people wearing
Yeah,
them, actually.
I think because they are so comfy,
and
like breathable.
easy, like throw on. Yeah, I have people that come in, and I serve them all the time,
Cute.
and they've got your shirt. Well, I'm serving them, and I'm like, oh, these people are definitely from out of town.
Yeah,
and then I see
right.
the HYDE and sticks, and I'm like,
Right.
oh, magic.
Interesting.
And they probably are locals, but you know how
Yeah.
people have that different kind of vibe
Yeah.
that like to travel around
100%.
and like experience life
Like
a
today,
little
I
bit.
had people in. I was like, "You're not from here. Are you traveling?" And they're like, "Yeah, we're from Brisbane." I'm like, "Wow."
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
crazy. I think
so
this time of the
crazy.
year especially is
Yeah,
a big
well, school
traveling.
holidays,
School
yeah.
holidays, yeah, of course. All right, last question.
Yes.
What legacy do you hope your business will leave in the community?
Just making people happy, like bringing so much happiness to people and just community. Like I
Yeah.
love that we've created so many friendships and like that in itself like sets me, like reassures me.
Yeah.
Like we've done our part.
Yeah, that's so
I mean,
true.
there's so much more that we can still do,
Yeah.
but like that is just so wholesome. I feel like just the
I
friendships
completely
and
agree with
stuff,
that.
like-
Yeah, and that's the thing we'll take with us no matter what.
Yeah.
So that's
like-
the stuff you have to really look after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel
Time
like,
and time
yeah.
again, we get like it's like a circle, and one day I hope that we'll break it. But you get so focused on the business, like
Yeah.
I said, that we kind of are like, hang on, we have these incredible people that are
Yeah.
working for us.
Yeah.
Let's just celebrate them.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah, that's why we do like. It's been like every weekend lately, but normally it's once a month we do team hangs.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so just like we go to Cameron's Pocket or
Still,
to
that's
the
so
beach.
cool. Like,
Yeah.
not many employees do that.
Well, yeah, I think
Employers,
the
my bad.
more I have a family and stuff, I think
Yeah.
it'll slow down a little bit. But definitely I see it as so important, like
Yeah.
to build that culture.
Yeah.
Because like you've been in here when we're busy, we're like we
You
don't talk
really
to each
know.
other.
You wouldn't be able, like it's just heads down.
Yeah, I don't know if someone's that I'm working with is struggling. Like,
Yeah.
whereas if we create this space where we can sit down and relax,
Yeah.
which was so uncomfortable to begin with because we're such
Really?
goers. Like, we're so like all over the place, and then you put us
Yeah.
down, and we're like,
Uh,
how's your life? But then we got used to it, and now
Yeah.
it's like so fun. Like, and
that's so good.
Yeah,
That's so good to
recommend.
hear.
Yeah.
Well, it'd just be at the moment me just sitting and getting
Sit
to
down
down
with
with us. You good girl.
Hey girl, how you going?
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I do it often.
Yeah.
You know, like when you're having a
That's
bad
good.
day, you're like, you good?
Put just like
in
a
the back
big mirror.
room, just like,
Yeah,
good.
yeah. Oh, I need to bring you coffees more.
oh no, you're fine. Sometimes coffee makes my anxiety just through the roof.
What's your go-to drink?
Coffee, but like
coffee.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you a matcha girl? Are you on the matcha
I've
trend?
never tried it. I'm surprised do
We're
do
getting
it
it
here.
soon.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, I was actually gonna message you like, you should do
Yeah,
it.
the strawberry matchas that are trending at the
I
moment.
really want to try it. Have you
Yeah,
tried
no.
matcha?
No.
Really?
Well, I have, but it was like 5 or 6 years ago when matcha was healthy. I'm pretty sure now it's like a sweetened matcha.
Yeah.
Like
the blueberry and
yeah,
strawberry.
yeah. I actually don't think it's very good for you. I think it's a bit of a lie. Like it's like very processed because it's powdered green tea. That's how they sell it. And then there's a lot of preservatives and stuff. Anyway, we'd try and get a healthy one if we did it.
Yeah.
But it's trending like crazy at the moment.
Oh, yeah.
And like Yana was like, I'm surprised. Like a lot of people would think we would have matcha of all places. And I was like, I need to get matcha. We need to make it happen.
I mean, I think you would pop off.
Yeah, probably.
I think it really would. Well, I'll try one.
Yeah, okay, all right. I'll get onto it next week. Tomorrow.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
Tonight.
Give my team some notice first before I bring in a new drink. Awesome. Okay, so that's all the questions I have.
Yeah, awesome.
I do have one more question that I love to ask everyone because I'm just going to flip that over. Because it's like really beneficial, I think, to anyone who wants to start a business.
Yeah.
Is what would you tell them if they wanted to start a business?
Don't do it. No.
All right, folks. Thanks for the podcast. See you later.
No, just definitely, again, staying true to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Super passionate about what you're doing. Find your little niche.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
That, you're passionate about and dive straight into it and just believe in yourself. I feel like if you do not start off believing in yourself, then like what have you got?
Yeah.
And just be unique.
Be different.
Be different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Do you want to say anything else?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for being on the podcast.
Thank you for having me. Honestly, when you reached out, I was like,
yeah,
I'm fangirl.
I had what? No, I was fangirl. Okay, we can fangirl for each other. That's fine. But yeah, it was honestly such a pleasure to have you on.
Thank you so much.
And to hear your story. And I'm sure a lot of people, especially younger generation, you're very inspiring.
Makes sense because
I feel like the beauty of this podcast is it's just a conversation.
Yeah.
And like somebody actually gave me feedback the other day and they said, I love listening to the podcast because it feels like I'm there with you. Aww. Yeah. And I was like, that's so cool. Like, I don't want it to be forced. I don't want it to be like, let's read a certain amount of questions. Like we have questions from the people, but it's just you and me talking and like,
and it's not rehearsed. Like, like I'm not like, oh my God, like, blah, 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 blah.
Was I meant to say this?
Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect. Well, thank you so much again.
Thank you so much for having me.
And if you want to go check out HYDE and Sticks on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. Do you have a YouTube?
Actually, maybe. I don't know.
Well, let's just go TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. She'll post our YouTube one day. Then definitely go check that out.
Awesome.
Thanks so much for joining me,
Thank you for having me.
That's okay. Bye.
Bye.